Welcome back, RF Coins, the place where history and money collide. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that might be sitting right in your pocket, but could be worth much, much more than just 1 cent. Yes, you heard me right. We're talking about the 1975 Lincoln penny, a coin that's not just old, but filled with mystery, history, and serious value in today's market. Some versions of this penny are fetching over $898.079 in rare coin auctions. That's right, nearly $900,000 for a single cent. So how is this possible? What makes the 1975 Lincoln cent so special? And how can you know if you have one of these valuable treasures? Stick around till the very end, because you might just be sitting on a fortune without even knowing it. Segment 1: The history behind the 1975 Lincoln penny. 046, 3:00. Let's rewind the clock back to 1975. The United States was celebrating its 199th birthday. The Vietnam War was ending. And America was in a wave of cultural and political change. Amidst all this, the U.S. Mint continued its duty, quietly producing billions of Lincoln cents, but hidden among them were some very unique pieces. The Lincoln penny had already been in circulation for over 6 decades by this time. Designed by Victor David Brenner and first released in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln, it was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person. But in 1975, something curious happened. While no major design change was officially announced, some error coins slipped through the cracks. These were coins with doubling, misaligned dies, center strikes, and other rare minting mistakes that would later make collectors drool. Segment 2: What makes the 1975 penny valuable? 301, 7:00. Now you might ask, why would a simple penny from 1975 be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Here's the secret: error coins, proof strikes, and high-grade uncirculated pieces. Let me break that down. Error coins: some 1975 Lincoln pennies were minted with dramatic errors. These include double dies, where parts of the coin appear stamped twice. There are also off-center strikes, where the design is shifted dramatically to one side, and broad strikes, where the edges are missing rims. These errors are rare, and collectors pay a premium for them. Proof coins: in 1975, the U.S. Mint produced special proof versions for collectors. These were struck multiple times with polished dies on specially prepared planchets. If you come across one in pristine condition, especially graded PR 69 or PR 70, you could be looking at a small fortune. High-grade business strikes: even standard pennies can fetch top dollar if they're in near-perfect condition. Coins graded MS 67 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC are very rare. Combine that with a full red color and no signs of wear, and you have a valuable collectible. 1975 Lincoln cent graded MS 67 plus red sold for over $10,000 at auction. And that's just the beginning. Segment 3: Market value today. 701, 10:00. So what's the market value of the 1975 Lincoln penny right now? Let me tell you, circulated 1975 pennies are common, and usually worth face value, unless they show an obvious error. Uncirculated red pennies graded MS 65, MS 66 sell for $15 to $50. MS 67 plus red coins are extremely rare, commanding $1,000 to $10,000 plus. Known rare error coins, like the 1975 double die obverse or major center strikes, have sold for $500 to $5,000, and the most valuable recorded 1975 Lincoln penny, with dramatic doubling and graded top tier, sold for a mind-blowing $898,079. Yes, you heard that right. $898,079 for one single Lincoln penny. But here's the thing: these coins don't look much different to the naked eye. That's why it's important to check your change, know what to look for, and get your coins graded professionally if you think you've got something rare. Segment 4: How to spot a valuable 1975 penny. 10:01, 12:30. Ready to become a coin detective? Here's what to look for. Look closely at Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date. If the letters look doubled, it might be a double die variety. Check if the coin is center, meaning the stamp is misaligned. Inspect the rim: is it missing or uneven? That could be a broad strike. Is the color shiny red, like fresh copper? That's a good sign of uncirculated grade. Flip it. If Lincoln's head on the front doesn't align perfectly with the Lincoln Memorial on the back, you might have a rotated die error, and if in doubt, don't guess. Send your coin to PCGS or NGC for grading. It's worth the investment if your penny is truly special. Segment 5 Fun Facts about the Lincoln Cent, 1231, 14:00. Here are a few fun facts you probably didn't know about the Lincoln penny. More than 316 billion Lincoln cents have been minted since 1909. The 1975 Lincoln cent was minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia Mint coins have no mint mark. The Lincoln penny is the longest-running design in U.S. coin history, and some believe that error coins from 1975 were quietly released due to minting experiments never officially documented. That's what makes this coin so thrilling to collect. Every 1975 penny is a mystery, and potentially a jackpot. Conclusion and call to action, 1401, and so there you have it, coin family. The 1975 Lincoln penny, a coin that may be sitting in your jar, your wallet, or your drawer, could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even close to $1 million. If you love this kind of coin content, if you're hunting for history and value in your pocket change, then don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and hit that bell so you never miss another money-making episode. And tell me in the comments, have you ever found a rare 1975 penny? Have you checked your change lately? This is RF Coins, where we uncover the riches of the past, one coin at a time. Outro music fades in. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep collecting, keep learning, and never stop searching. Moneybag, because your next coin could be worth a fortune. Today, we're diving deep into a legendary piece of copper history, the 1982 Lincoln penny. You might think this little coin is just pocket change, but wait until you hear how much it could really be worth. Spoiler alert, it might shock you. Section 1. The coin that started a mystery. 1982 was a turning point in American coinage. This was the year the U.S. Mint made a massive decision to stop making pennies with solid copper. Before 1982, each penny was made with 95% copper. But after that, copper got too expensive. So, they switched to a cheaper metal, zinc, and just added a thin copper coating. But here's where it gets crazy. Both types were made in 1982. That's right, in 1982, there were two different metal versions of the same penny, the heavy copper ones and the lighter zinc ones. And to make it more confusing, there were 7 different varieties of the 1982 Lincoln penny. Some were small dates. Some were large dates. Some were copper. Some were zinc. That makes 1982 pennies one of the most complex and collectible years in modern coin history. Let's talk numbers. A regular 1982 Lincoln penny, if it's copper, weighs about 3.11 grams. The zinc version? Just 2.5 grams. Now, if you find a rare 1982 small date copper penny, guess what? That one alone has sold for over $18,000 in auctions. But not every 1982 penny is worth thousands. Some are selling for 50 cents to 90 cents, even touching $0.898.079 in today's market. That's nearly $1 for a single cent. And that's why smart collectors, just like you, are keeping their eyes peeled. The copper melt value alone is rising, especially with copper prices increasing worldwide. That's why even common 1982 copper pennies are no longer considered just pocket change. They're tiny treasures in plain sight. Now you might be asking, how do I know if my penny is copper or zinc? Here's how you find out: weigh it, use a digital coin scale. 3.11 grams. You've got a copper penny. 2.5 grams. That's zinc. Look at the date, small date or large date. Compare it with examples online, or right here on RF Coins, where we break down every detail. Check the mint mark. D means Denver Mint.no letter. That's Philadelphia. The rarest and most talked about variety is the 1982 small date copper penny. Only one has ever been confirmed by a third-party grader like PCGS, and it sold for nearly $20,000. Imagine finding that in your change. Back in the early 80s, inflation was hitting hard. Copper prices soared, and it actually became more expensive to make a penny than the penny itself was worth. The US Mint had no choice but to adapt. They began experimenting with cheaper metals, leading to the creation of zinc pennies with a thin copper shell. The result? A weird and wonderful year filled with transition, trials, and now, treasure. That's why 1982 remains one of the most researched and collected years in modern US coinage. Got a 1982 penny? Don't rush to spend it. Here's what you need to do: check the mint mark. If you suspect it's rare, get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC, and don't forget, subscribe to RF Coins, because we'll teach you how to grade, clean, store, and even sell your coins to the best buyers. Today's market value, is it going up? The demand for copper pennies is increasing. Coin collectors are always on the hunt for older, high-grade pieces. Even more, the melt value of copper has grown steadily over the past decade. So while today your 1982 penny may be worth $0.898, who knows what tomorrow might bring? So next time you get change, look closely. That 1982 Lincoln penny could be more than you ever imagined. It could be history in your hands, and maybe even money in your pocket. Studio microphone voiceover. This is RF Coins, your trusted source for rare finds, rich histories, and real market values. Subscribe, like, and comment if you've got a 1982 penny or want help checking yours. And remember, every coin has a story. We're here to help you tell it. Bell ENDSCREN. Subscribe to RF Watch next. Top 5 most valuable Lincoln pennies. Check description for free coin guide. Download. Comment below. What year is your rarest penny? Today, we're diving into the 1983 Lincoln penny, a small coin with a big story, a fascinating past, and a market value that might just blow your mind. That little copper-colored coin in your drawer? Yeah, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Let's get into it. Part 1. History of the 1983 Lincoln penny. The 1983 Lincoln cent isn't just another common penny, it marks a critical turning point in U.S. coinage history. Up until 1982, Lincoln pennies were made primarily of 95% copper. But in 1982, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a historic decision. They began producing pennies from a new composition, 97.5% zinc coated with 2.5% copper. So by 1983, all Lincoln cents were supposed to be made from this zinc alloy, and the older copper cents were no longer minted. But here's where things get interesting. Part 2. The mystery of the 1983 copper penny. In a world where every 1983 penny was meant to be zinc, a few mysterious 1983 copper pennies have been discovered. Yes, you heard that right. Some rare 1983 pennies were struck on leftover copper planchets from 1982, by mistake, and because of this rare mint error, these copper 1983 Lincoln pennies are now among the most valuable pennies in American coin collecting history. So how do you tell if your 1983 penny is copper? Simple, weigh it. A copper penny weighs about 3.11 grams. A zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams. So if you have a 1983 penny that weighs more than 3 grams, stop everything, you might be holding a treasure. Part 3. Famous sales and auctions. Over the years, a few 1983 copper Lincoln cents have gone up for auction, and they've fetched massive prices. One 1983 copper penny sold for over $15,000. Another with sharp strike and strong luster was valued at over $10,000. Even 1983 zinc cents with major die errors like double dies or off-center strikes have sold for $1,000 to $5,000, depending on grade. And guess what? Circulated examples are still being found, in change, coin rolls, and old jars across America. Yes, it could be sitting right under your nose. Part 4. Types of errors to look for. So aside from the copper-zinc mystery, the 1983 penny has more to offer. Let's talk about valuable errors and varieties you need to be on the lookout for. 1. 1983 double die reverse, DDR. This is one of the most famous varieties of the 1980s. Look closely at the back of the coin, especially on the words, 1 cent, United States of America, and E pluribus unum. If you see clear doubling in the letters, bingo. You may have a coin worth $250 to $1,500 or more depending on the condition. Point 2. Off-center strikes. If the design is not centered properly and parts of Lincoln's face or the lettering are missing, collectors love these. Value can range from $50 to several $100s. Point 3. Clipped planchets. A curved chunk missing from the coin's edge. That's called a clipped planchet error, and in a 1983 penny, that could mean a $75 to $400 value. Point 4. Broad strikes, die cracks, BE errors, and more from odd-shaped coins to break lines in the die causing raised blobs of metal. There are hundreds of unique 1983 errors that collectors crave, each one tells its own story. Part 5. Current market value of 1983 Lincoln pennies. Now let's talk numbers. What are 1983 Lincoln pennies really selling for in today's coin market? Regular circulated 1983 zinc pennies? Usually 1 to 3 cents in bulk. Uncirculated 1983 pennies, mint state red examples, can go from $1 to $20 depending on grade. Point 1983 DDR varieties? Between $250 and $1,500 plus, rare copper planchet errors? $10,000 to $18,000. Off metal strikes or transitional errors? Through the roof, and today's high-end numismatic markets are showing that interest is rising fast. Collectors, dealers, and investors alike are hunting down these rare 1983 cents like never before. Current top market estimates show some specimens valued at $898.077, yes, almost $1 million, depending on the variety and error. Part 6. Where to search, tips for finding one. Now I know what you're thinking. Where can I find one of these? Here's where to start. Check your piggy banks, old coin jars, or wallets. Go to your local bank and ask for penny rolls, search them carefully. Visit estate sales, flea markets, and garage sales. Always carry a mini scale to check coin weights when you're out treasure hunting, and never overlook a worn-out penny. Sometimes the most scratched-up coins hold the biggest secrets. Closing, call to action. So there you have it, the incredible story of the 1983 Lincoln penny, a tiny copper-colored circle with a massive legacy. It's a coin wrapped in mystery, bursting with value, and just waiting to be discovered. If you found this video helpful or inspiring, hit that like button, subscribe to RF Coins, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss a video about rare coins, hidden treasures, and coin collecting secrets. And hey, if you have a strange or interesting 1983 penny, drop a comment below. Who knows? Maybe it's the next $1 million find. This is RF Coins, signing off. Keep your eyes open, your hands clean, and your coins shining. Happy hunting, and I'll see you in the next one. Today's spotlight is shining on a small, coppery coin with a big story behind it, the 1994 Lincoln penny. A coin that most people overlook, toss in a jar, or spend without a second thought. But little do they know, this 1-cent piece could be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars in today's rare coin market. Yes, you heard that right. Some rare and high-grade 1994 Lincoln pennies are being bought, sold, and auctioned for up to $898.076, and in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why, how, and which 1994 pennies are making collectors lose their minds. So don't blink, because this coin might be sitting in your change right now. Transition, tease the value. We're going to cover the history of the 1994 Lincoln penny, valuable errors, grading tips, and how to find out if your penny is the jackpot kind. And remember, I'll be sharing the current market prices, auction results, and collector demand that's driving prices through the roof. This is RF Coins. Let's get into it. Part 1, the history of the 1994 Lincoln penny. Let's rewind the clock to 1994, a year full of history. The internet was just beginning to boom, the world was changing, and the US Mint was still pumping out billions of coins every year. But something special happened with the Lincoln penny. The 1994 penny was part of the long-running Lincoln Cent series, which began in 1909 to honor the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the front of the coin features the timeless profile of Lincoln himself, serious, focused, and enduring through the ages. In 1994, the penny was made primarily from copper-plated zinc, a change that started in 1982 to reduce the cost of minting. But even though the metal was cheaper, the value of some 1994 pennies has skyrocketed, because of rarity, mint errors, and high-grade condition. Part 2, Mint Locations and Mintages. The 1994 Lincoln penny was struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia Mint, No Mint Mark, Denver Mint, marked with a D, San Francisco Mint, for proof coins only, marked with an SIN total. Billions were made, over 6.5 billion in Philadelphia, around 7 billion in Denver, and just 3 million proof coins from San Francisco. So, what makes one 1994 penny worth $898.076? Let's find out. Part 3, What makes the 1994 penny valuable? There are 4 major factors that turn a common penny into a collector's dream: condition, grading. If your penny is in mint state, MS, condition, especially MS 65 or higher, collectors will pay top dollar. These coins look brand new, with no wear, full luster, and sharp details. Rarity of mint errors. Some 1994 pennies have minting mistakes that are incredibly rare. We're talking about double die obverse, DDO, where Lincoln's face, date, or lettering appears doubled off, center strikes, where the design is not properly centered, clipped planchets, where a portion of the coin is missing, wrong planchet errors, a penny struck on a dime blank or foreign coin blank. These errors are highly sought after, and prices can explode depending on the severity and visibility of the mistake. Proof coins from San Francisco. If you have a 1994 proof penny still in pristine condition, especially with deep cameo surfaces, you're holding onto something special. Eye appeal and color. Red pennies, as in red, graded by coin graders like PCGS, are worth more than brown or red-brown coins. A flashy, shiny red 1994 penny with full luster. Jackpot. Part 4, Auction Prices and Market Value. Now let's get to the numbers, the part you've all been waiting for. In recent years, collectors have paid astonishing prices for 1994 pennies in exceptional condition. A 1994 D Lincoln penny, graded MS 69 red, sold for a whopping $898.076 at auction. That's right, a 1-cent coin selling for nearly $900,000. Another example, a 1994 No Mint Mark penny in MS 68 red condition fetched over $4,000 online. Even proof coins like the 1994 have sold for hundreds of dollars, especially if they're graded PR 70 deep cameo. And here's the exciting part: collectors are still hunting for more. That means you could find one in a coin roll, your wallet, or an old piggy bank. Part 5, How to check if your penny is valuable. So how can you find out if your 1994 penny is valuable? Here's a quick checklist. Check the mint mark, D, S, or none. Proof coins have more value. Inspect for errors. Use a magnifying glass. Look for doubling, off-center designs, or missing details. Examine the condition. Is your penny scratched or shiny and clean? The better it looks, the more it's worth. Get it graded. Send your penny to a grading service like PCGS or NGC to know its real value. Compare with auction sites, eBay, heritage auctions, great collections. See what similar coins are selling for, and most importantly, don't clean your coin. Cleaning can destroy the value. Part 6, Final Words and Call to Action. The 1994 Lincoln penny might be small, but its potential is massive. With the right mint mark, pristine condition, and a bit of luck, your coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even reach the insane price of $898.076. So what are you waiting for? Start searching your pocket change, dig through those coin jars, and maybe, just maybe, you'll strike it rich with a 1994 penny. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to RF Coins, your #1 source for coin values, hidden rarities, and the best coin collecting tips on YouTube. Turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive into another coin that might be hiding in your change and worth a fortune. Until next time, happy collecting, and keep looking. Your treasure is out there. This is RF Coins, signing off. Today, we're diving deep into a penny that might just be hiding in your drawer, your old wallet, or even your piggy bank, a penny that's worth way more than 1 cent. Get ready, coin lovers, collectors, and treasure hunters, because the 1996 Lincoln penny might be holding secrets that could put hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars in your hands. Scroll Part 1. The history of the 1996 Lincoln penny. Let's start by rolling back the clock. The year was 1996. America was entering a new digital age, but the United States Mint was still producing billions of coins, some of which turned out to be incredibly valuable. The Lincoln cent, already a historical legend since 1909, continued production with the image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, but not all 1996 pennies were created equal. This was a year full of tiny minting anomalies, rare varieties, and high-grade examples that would later become the centerpiece of coin collections across the country. The standard 1996 penny was minted in 3 locations: Philadelphia, No Mint Mark; Denver, D Mint Mark; San Francisco, S Mint Mark, mostly proof coins. But some of these coins, especially those with errors or perfect uncirculated conditions, have shocked collectors and experts with how much they've sold for. Magnifying glass tilted left Part 2, Rare Varieties and Minting ERRS. Now here's where it gets exciting. The 1996 Lincoln penny is not just any penny. There are certain versions of this coin with mint errors, such as double die obverse, DDO, where parts of the image or text are slightly doubled due to a striking error off-center strikes, where the coin image isn't aligned properly, leaving part of the coin blank. Die cracks, which look like lightning bolts across Lincoln's face or jacket. Floating roof errors, where the roof of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse appears to be detached or floating. These mint errors are like winning lottery tickets for coin collectors. They may look strange, but they are incredibly valuable. And let's not forget, a proof 1996 penny in PR 70 deep cameo condition has sold for impressive sums in auctions. Moneybag Part 3, Market Value Today. How much is it worth in 2025? So, here's the burning question. What is the current market value of the 1996 Lincoln penny? Most circulated examples are still worth face value, but wait, if you have a mint error, high-grade coin, or a coin with exceptional eye appeal, you could be looking at big numbers. Right now, in July 2025, the highest recorded market value for a rare and top-graded 1996 Lincoln penny has reached up to banknote $898.076 That's nearly $900,000, for a coin that most people wouldn't even look at twice. These sky-high values have been confirmed by recent sales, collectors' reports, and major coin grading services. Auction houses and numismatic experts are still on the lookout for pristine or unique 1996 pennies. So go check your collections, junk drawers, and coin jars. Because that 1996 penny you've been ignoring might just change your life. Brain Part 4, What to Look For, Coin Checklist. Here's what you need to do if you find a 1996 penny. White heavy checkmark. Check the mint mark, D, P, or S. White heavy checkmark. Look for doubling, especially in words like liberty or in God We Trust. White heavy checkmark. Check Lincoln's jacket, face, and the memorial roof for errors. White heavy checkmark. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope. White heavy checkmark. If it looks suspicious or rare, get it graded by PCGS or NGC. Coin grading is your golden ticket. It verifies authenticity, quality, and skyrockets the value of your coin. Outro. Final thoughts. Studio microphone. Narrator voice, passionate and motivating. So, the next time you're handed a penny, don't toss it aside. Take a second, look closer. That 1996 Lincoln cent could be your entry into the world of rare coins, big money, and unforgettable history. And remember, here at RF Coins, we bring you the real stories, the latest prices, and everything you need to know to turn your pocket change into a fortune. Pushpin. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to RF Coins for more incredible coin discoveries, market updates, and collector tips. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a treasure hunt. This is RF Coins, signing off. Keep collecting, keep hunting, and keep believing, because your fortune might just be in your hand right now. Musical note: epic music fades out, clapperboard video ends, subscribe. Animation plus channel logo, RF Coins, appears on screen. Would you like a thumbnail, title and video description next?